the top 10. Now the team's making qualifying runs. Brad Keselowski just jumped up to 7th. There he is. Jamie McMurray, the fastest Chevy. Kyle Busch, now the quickest Toyota, in 2nd. Ricky Stenhouse is still the fastest Ford.
And Mike, look at the times, just like we saw last week at Daytona. A 53, a 55, a 56, a 57, a 57. Those top 5 just all just within hundreds of each other.
Denny Hamlin's already made one qualifying run. I don't know if this is on the same set of tires. Very well possibly could be. Boy, you saw how the front really cut, the back end turn. He got to the yellow line, maybe more aggressive than he wanted to in 3 and 4.
He remains 6th. Ryan Blaney has jumped up to 7th.
I feel pretty confident on Denny Hamlin. That was his 2nd time out. And remember, these teams have to go out and try to accomplish round 3 to go run for the pole. So they will go out and run a 2nd or 3rd time here in practice on the same set.
I'm going to make a fairly bold prediction and say this kid's going to win a race this year. Oh man, Blaney, the way he ran at Daytona, look at here, he's 7th quick here in Atlanta. I think a year under their belt, this team is going to get better and better.
I love it when you get about 6 inches out on that limb like that.
Yeah, but no, I don't hear Saul's running.
No, sir. Larry.
Yeah, Mike, I'm here with Martin Truex Jr. And Martin, not a lot of laps with that 78 car, but your comment to me was, we're close now.
We're close now. We were pretty far off to start with, so you know, happy with the changes we made. We made some really big gains, so now we just need to fine tune on it for qualifying. I think you know, track's gonna be a lot different later on. So I feel like we learned a lot today, even though we didn't run a lot of runs, and hopefully we'll get us a good run of qualifying tonight with our Bass Pro Toyota.
Seems to be a lot of debate about where to run on the racetrack. The seams, above the seams, straddle the seams. Did you guys talk a lot about that?
We did, and you know, you come here and it's like that every time. You watch everybody, and wherever the fastest guy runs, you try to run there and see what it does for you. So it's typical Atlanta. We're going to be all over the place all weekend long, and just trying to find some grip.
There you go. I told you, the word of the day is grip.
Yes, it is. You got a truckload. Now, you know that business has picked up when the rocket goes to the top of the chart. Ryan Newman is fastest, 187.8.
And he likes a fast racetrack like here at Atlanta Motor Speedway to put it out there on the edge, be aggressive, and we've seen him sit on quite a few poles.
Yeah, the pole here last year was at 28.93. I'll tell you, by 5 o'clock this afternoon, we're not going to be far off of that.
Eric Almirola trying to improve on 14th.
Had some footage of him earlier. He certainly, and stepping the back end out, he kept it down the bottom, but the car's still moving around a lot. He has his hands full.
And that is his fastest lap right there.
If you want to see these cars really move around and hard to drive, shorten up the sides as much as you shorten up that rear spoiler, and you'll see some of that.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. on a flyer, had a bit of a wiggle down into turn 1. 30-16, not his fastest lap.
I'm just still, you know, this again could maybe be a 2nd run on tires, but let's ride along or watch him go into turn 1.
Yeah, just even right there, the car looked a little darty as it started to the turn.
Now, we've seen speeds up around 198 miles per hour going into that turn 1, so you go in there to 198 with that little tiny spoiler, it's going to get your attention as it did there for Dale Earnhardt Jr. I was amazed when we were riding on board there on his roof camera, just how long he was out of the throttle. I mean, that's typically what we would see for a race run.
Yeah.
Now, again, this could be a 2nd time out on tires, so a little grip loss there. But I was just amazed for a qualifying run to see and hear how much throttle input in and out is going on for these drivers.
Chase Elliott started on the pole, led a lot of laps in the Daytona 500. He's currently 16th.
You can see he just did not get down to the yellow line there. It's so important to hook that yellow line and get the front to turn so you can get back in the gas really early.
29.93, that's about 8/100ths off his best lap.
But you know, Jeff, I watched you do this in this car. Practice wasn't all that great. But come time to qualify, Alan always seemed to have a little something he was holding back that really paid off when he got ready to go qualify.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what the best teams do. They know how to just put all the little details that you learn from practice, that you've learned over the off season, and apply it all at one time when you're on the clock when it's time to go.
I always loved it when you could tell us before you got to the line whether it was a good lap or not.
No improvement right there for Kurt Busch. 5.5 minutes left to go in this session. That's Carl Edwards climbing up top to watch Daniel Suarez.